Happy New Year to every one of you out there tonight. We welcome you wherever you are in the world. Those of you, our viewers in Liberia, here in the United States and other parts, we say thank you for joining us again here on our 210th broadcast. It's been a long ride. In 2023, we covered grounds, and this is the first broadcast for 2024. We pray for our country. We pray that better things will happen in this year. And it is our hope that the country will do well by itself. I know that we'll be transitioning soon. We have about 21 days to go. Actually, 20 days to go because today is the second and it's already done. Um, and we're hoping for better governance. We're hoping for an increased uh, presence of peace and civility in the country. We're looking forward to uh, the adherence to the rule of law. We're also looking forward to the healthcare sector being addressed, education, uh, the economy. As I said earlier, that those doing business with Liberia will not try to pillage our economy, but instead will be responsible. Our partners in progress will pay attention to the plight of the people. There will be increased revenue in the budget for our young people to address their existential needs. For instance, those who are hooked to drugs in the area of mental health, building rehab centers run by government, increase the potential for our young people who are coming out of college to have a job, open up the economy, and just so many things we're looking forward to. 2024 must set the tune for Liberia. And if that doesn't take place, then I don't know what 25 and 26 and 27, because people are already anticipating 2029 and we're not working toward getting there. So actually, we're starting the ignition, we're kicking the vehicle now, the train, the rescue train must begin running on January 22nd and no slowing down. In fact, we still got some railroad track around the country. We need to utilize those railroad tracks, the one from Bump Mines coming to Bump Mines Bridge, the one that goes to Yekipa, coming through Buchanan. We got to find a way to utilize those tracks with the rescue train. But welcome, my name is Volcano Shelton. I see my brother who has been missing for a few production is backstage, all zooed up. He's ready to join us here tonight. But the conversation tonight will dwell around the incident that took place on December 26th, the day after Christmas, with more than 100 people lingering and hanging around a falling tanker carrying 9,000 gallons of gasoline. And at some point, that tanker exploded, and it was a nightmare. And a lot of people died. The initial count was about 40, and we're hearing more people died, up to the tune of 60, and many others injured with third-degree burns. And I mean, it was just that bad. So again, thank you for joining us. We know that many other platforms may have discussed the issue, but we wanted to come from the issues room perspective and have this conversation. Alphonso, welcome. Happy New Year. I've just seen you. And by the way, before you say anything, let me just thank the many people who wished me happy birthday yesterday. It was a good way to celebrate. I stayed home. I didn't leave the house. I didn't even step outside of the door. Just kept myself warm, cleaned up, and did my little thing, just relax by myself. Um, Better way to do it. So thank you all everywhere on all of the platforms, Facebook, the LBS, former LBS employee platform, the Effort Reunion platform, the ALJA, Association of Liberian Journalists in the America platform, the Distinguished Men of Pennsylvania platform, the Pennsylvania Old Timers Association platform. Just all of the places where I'm connected. Thank you all for, thank you for wishing me happy birthday. I've lived to see another year. We're aging, we're getting there. It's a slow process, but we're getting there. Welcome, Alfonso.
Thank you, brother. And I wanted to also wish you happy birthday. And yeah, I see you have a glass, so
Wait,
that's
wait,
fine.
you know what I'm drinking here?
No,
This is water with apple cider vinegar.
okay.
Listen,
So
I'm trying to clean this body
we're
up,
trying
man.
to cleanse the body.
Yeah, I'm
But
trying to
here's what I'm doing.
doing cleansing.
I don't have apple vinegar, but I do have. I'll describe what I have later. I
Okay.
came with it purposefully. If you
Okay.
want me to wait for Moses, I can wait.
Yeah, so we can knock the glass, right?
So we can do a toast.
Toast,
Yeah.
toast.
Okay. So I have my glass. I
Yeah,
wanted to toast
it,
to
it
your
it looks
happy birthday.
brownish. Is that whiskey?
No, 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 no.
Okay,
I
you say
can't
you
do
will
that
dispose it
on
later.
I can't do that on stuff.
I know. Yeah, that's cherry. Yeah,
That's
cherry cola.
cherry coke. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
cherry coke. So yeah. I mean, we can probably do the whiskey after this. We can't do it on set, but all right. I'll wait for Moses. But I want to wish you a very very happy birthday. Moses and I talked yesterday on your birthday. He said he had called you, but you didn't answer. So I said, well, maybe the man just want to be by himself, so let's let him be. So yeah,
No, customarily I've celebrated my birthday in quietude,
inquire to you.
solitude, in hermit.
Yeah,
All of the words that mean be by yourself, kind of.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it's worked very well for me because my birthday happens to be on a global holiday.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing their thing for the new year. Who want to leave their thing to assemble for your thing? So if
Hmm.
if you have to do something, maybe you do it prior to or after,
Hmm.
where people
Hmm.
will come. But
Yeah.
to say that people will really take away from the time to come on your occasion on New Year's
On New
Day,
Year's Day.
yeah, so that is why I've never gravitated toward doing anything, because eventually you might just spend money and then left with all the food and liquor and
Hmm.
stuff.
Hmm.
So I just leave it like that. I can use that money in the new year. In Liberia, the January month is a crazy and hard month.
It's the
It doesn't
toughest
change
month.
yet. Yeah, it doesn't change yet because people will be calling you. I'm January. Got to start buying what they call it, the 25-pound bags. Because the people
But
say,
yep,
buy me beggar rest. And I say, how much pound? They say
I'm
25. I say,
just
well, not beggar rest.
Snyder Becker
That's
rest
a
a
quarter of
quarter,
a beggar
a
rest.
quarter of a Becker rest. Yeah. But once again, happy birthday, and um, yeah, the incident you referenced is very unfortunate. Um, but when we go into the details of discussing it, I have some ideas and thoughts about it. I saw some video today that I had not seen. I haven't followed that incident much, and I saw some videos today, and it's horrible.
It's very
Really,
graphic.
very,
Very graphic. Matter of fact, what I have queued here, I have to put a disclaimer of your discretion is advised. Moses, welcome.
Mostly
Thank you.
welcome. We want you to go get your glass if you don't have one
He always
already.
has he always has some kind of plastic bottle making noise with it. But man, you just
Yeah.
made it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Um.
You got something
Thank
to
you.
toast with, Moses? Do you
The
got?
man said you got
Yeah.
to toast to me, my man. Longevity and
I
long
know,
life.
my man. Unfortunately, I already in studio now, so we toast to the good health. But my man,
Okay,
I
cool.
called you yesterday. I wasn't able to reach you, and I was telling Alfonso, I said, "Look, man, you put everybody on hold. You said today is my special day, so
I took a
I want
power.
to
I
understand."
took a power nap. I think for 2 hours because what happens is that you see the birthday rolls through the night, right?
Yeah.
Midnight, I started receiving calls,
Oh wow.
and the folks in Liberia don't care. They don't know what time we're sleeping here. So you remember what on the show when my sister called, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just calls kept coming, and so by day I was still up, engaging Facebook, engaging WhatsApp, and all of that. So then
Mhm.
at one point I fell sleeping. So
Yeah.
sleeping. I
Even
went to bed.
even one of your prominent friends tried to reach you. He said, "Tell Volcano I tried to reach him. It
We
was
talk later. We talk
yeah,
later.
yeah. No, I ain't calling no name.
I
I
know. I
just
must
give
say we
you
talk
as
later. I know who that
yeah,
is.
yeah.
And I was
But
very,
anyway, my man, happy belated
I was
birthday
very happy he
again.
called me though
Oh
because
yeah,
it
yeah,
and we talked about just a little bit and he blessed me. You
yeah,
know, as an
yeah,
elderly brother, that
yeah,
was good. That was good. Wow.
yeah,
Moses, guess
yeah.
who's in the issues room tonight?
It was
Woo-hoo-hoo.
oh wow, our own sister, happy birthday, Benu. It's a pleasure to
Not
have
happy
you.
birthday. She said happy new year.
Oh yeah, happy New Year, Benu.
Okay, you need glasses? What's going on with you?
Happy New Year, Benu. She and I we talked yesterday.
Oh, I did. I called her on
Yeah,
Christmas Day, but
yeah.
unfortunately she didn't
I
answer,
talked
and
to
I
my
understood
sister
what was
and
happening.
and
So
wish she and the children well. You know, yeah. But again, let me join you guys in welcoming our many viewers out there. It's good to be back. I know
yeah,
the
let's do the
discussion
toast and start the show by. You
is
talking
going
for
to
me?
be
Let's
very
do the toast.
interesting. Before we
Yeah,
start the show, right? Let's for the
yeah.
toast
All right.
to the good health. Go
So
ahead now, Alfonso. You
Alfonso,
take the
you
lead.
making
No
the toast,
problem,
right?
man. You get it,
Yeah.
man. Why you same amount of wine to Delaware? You give me the
All right. But how
Alfonso.
you wait a minute, how you would toast with a closed bottle?
And was it open your
Yeah,
bottle?
yeah, man. So you see the man guy want my man. Let me
But
take
let
the lead
toast.
because he has the
Moses,
wine.
Moses,
Yeah,
let
let him
toast.
take
When
No,
the
we
he's the
finish
lead.
one.
toasting,
He's the one doing the toast. Get him check.
let toast. When we finish toasting, we can talk about your wine bin and Moses. So, on behalf of all of us, the Delaware Valley chapter of the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, the Issues Room, and our brotherhood and camaraderie here on the Issues Room, I want to proffer a toast in celebration of the birthday, good health, longevity, prosperity of our friend and brother, Mr. Volcano I.E. Shelton. And I'm
Hey,
asking all of
thank
our
you.
listeners who are able to grab a bottle of water, as Moses has done, or even a glass or whatever, join us in proper and
I
toast
toast
to
the
good
good health.
health of Mr. Shelton. Yeah,
Thank
Congratulations
you.
again, Mr.
Thank
Shelton.
you. I feel good.
yeah,
Thank you, brothers.
yeah,
Yeah, this
We
is the blessing, my man.
we advanced through another year,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
so
thank you.
we want to say happy 2024 to all of those who have stood with us here in the issues room, irrespective of the numbers. There are platforms bragging about being the biggest, but it's not about the size. It's about the substance, the content, the commitment, the support, and I always lean on what the Bible says: "Where two or three are gathered in my name, I will be there." And so
Absolutely.
I'm very happy to have Raymond Clark, Flomo Livingstone, Benu Cassell, Adiaha Umo, Thomas Awaji, River Says Pro. I can go down to, Forger Monyu, Ram Snodden, Godwin Weado. So many of the guys who come here
I
night
was
in and night out to
Yours,
join
yeah.
us to have this discussion. But Moses, let's go into thing because we'll be here for an hour and a half. We need to start respecting time because we are working men. We rush here, we got to rush out and do other things. So unfortunately, we'll be doing our hour and a half, except where there's something more, committing. But this is one of our regular broadcasts, so let's stick to time. Tonight,
sure. Yeah,
you seen that? You seen that? Did you see?
yeah. I you fact
Yeah.
I share that.
And interestingly, similar, but it's just that this one is fewer
Yeah,
and it's right in the street,
in the street. Yeah,
and people are dipping and stuff. So this seems to be something that people don't even understand the gravity of the hazard, the danger involved with it, and we'll be
yeah.
discussing it tonight. So let me hear from Alfonso. He hasn't been here for a while, and let me hear from you just a minute in the introduction of this topic as we start while I cue some clips.
Yeah. So I think for me, it's a combination of factors. The first of which is knowledge. People don't know that those things are dangerous and they'll explode and they just jump into it. Which is exactly what happened in Liberia and is very tragic. I mean, imagine you see a tanker going with gasoline, it turns over, the engine is hot, it's still on, gasoline flowing. That's clearly a danger for explosion and combustion. Unfortunately, people didn't know. They saw it as an opportunity to go there, and tragically, people got killed and people got burned and injured. The second point I want to make is, you know, um, response response in terms of our fire service if we have one, in terms of police if we have one. When these things happen, that's the reason why you see first responders go on the scene first. That's what they're trained to understand, and they're trained to protect the population. So first responders, if we had really trained, and a good number of first responders would have gone to the scene and cordon off the area so the people don't even go there knowing the danger. Unfortunately, apparently we didn't have first responders on the scene. We don't have people responding to those kinds of things. And what that tells me is that we have to focus and invest in those kinds of things.
Let me just add quickly that
Yeah.
somebody said that there was a police or one or two police officers were on the
Two
scene
officers were
and
there. Yeah.
trying to tell him can do this, but the crowd,
Yeah.
it was
Well,
overwhelming.
Mhm.
okay. Okay. So that again, the point is that they'll cordon off the area. But if you're
Yeah,
standing there and say, "Don't go there, don't do this," then it's your word against my word. That's the reason why they have yellow tape and they have people blocking area and keeping people way off. They don't even put the yellow tape around the tanker. They put it several feet, several yards away, so you don't even approach that thing. And then, of course, as I said before, education. Our people don't have the education that there's a possibility of explosion, which exactly happened. You have gasoline, you have a hot vehicle, hot engine, gasoline flowing on the ground. Of course, there's possibility of explosion. And then, of course, the health situation. You know, when did health people intervene? And even when they intervene, time do they have the capacity to treat severe burns and to take care of people and to provide them the necessary medication and those kinds of things. So I think in a nutshell, those are the combination of factors that I see, and I hope we can learn from this tragedy and begin to put things into place. First aid, CPR, first responders responding, ambulances, rushing people to the necessary hospitals. When they get to the necessary hospital, the care. Police making sure. I mean, if you have two police people, they did well by even going there. But you have two police people and maybe 200 people rushing to get gasoline, to get food to eat. I don't think the two police people will succeed in stopping those 300 people. Apparently, that's what happened. Again, investing in safety and security should be paramount and critical.
yes, Moses.
Yeah. I would say, even before speaking to this issue, I just want to remind Liberians the world over that as of today's date, we have 20 more days for the inauguration. Now, coming to the topics of the day, the most important issue for which we are here. There are a couple of things that actually stood out to me. Uh, Volcano, the both of you talk about, the role of government in the process. There is a disaster response agency in Liberia, and that agency is underfunded. It's my understanding that in the last annual budget, the government allocated, I think, $800,000. How do you fund an agency established primarily to respond when you have crises such as what we saw in Bone County with $800,000, that including salaries and all of that? So that just tells you that the government itself is unprepared. Another thing that really stood out and continues to reflect negatively on the image of the outgoing administration is Mr. Weah's insensitivity to what has happened in the country. Volcano, as I speak to you right now, the data out there shows that we have more than 72 deaths since December the 26th. When the tanker exploded, the death toll is increasing on a daily basis. In the wake of this national crisis, Mr. Weah has never declared any state of emergency in the country. In fact, he actually is not even in Liberia. As far as George Weah is concerned, nothing has happened in our country. And when you see stuff like that, then that just further vindicate Liberians as to why they voted him out. Because as a leader, there are times that you take advantage of certain situations to show that you are in control, but he's completely aloof. He's completely disengaged. The government is playing no critical role. I heard you guys talk about the police. How do you expect the police to respond in a crisis like that? Even though there were two police officers on the scene, but you have police officers that walk in the streets of Monrovia, not even carrying batons. So why will a policeman who doesn't even carry a baton tell Moses and he say, "Oh, my man, you can't go over there." I said, "Oh man, you find me somewhere to stand." And that's what happened to
I
those
know you will
officers.
say that. I can just tell.
Yeah, you know. I said, I look, I don't want to be bothered, man. I'm focused on something. You
You know,
just find somewhere
focus
to.
on your gasoline.
Yeah, yeah. I want to feel my thing. So the officers, unfortunately, Volcano, those two officers also died, even though they show up to save life, to prevent the disaster. They die because they were standing by when the tank exploded. They also die.
Wow.
Okay. Another thing that we need to take into consideration, when you see that video, a couple of things run through your mind, Volcano. Another thing that's going to stand out to you is extreme poverty. Extreme poverty, ignorance is another one. When people are extremely poor, they live in what we call survival mode. They do not factor in the implications of their actions. They act in the moment. When those guys saw that thing laying order, they saw that thing over there, the interpretation was instant. Oh, well, this is a time to make some money. And they went, they took advantage of the situation. Unfortunately, it turned out the wrong way. It's the same thing when you show the other video, you're gonna see what happened in Nigeria. You know, a group of poor people when another tanker, fell, a group of poor people were also in the street, trying to steal fuel.
Okay.
That's what happens when people are extremely poor. They act in the moment. They don't think about the implications of the action. All they are concerned about is what do I do now to put food on the table. That's what happened to our people in our Bone County.
All right. So,
Now, let me wrap it on this. Uh, the role of medical institutions. JFK is overwhelmed. The Phoebe Hospital also became overwhelmed as a result of the number of individuals affected. They took several individuals to JFK, several individuals to Phoebe Hospital. Again, they could not provide the help needed because these institutions themselves remain what? Under-supported. And finally, who demonstrated leadership? The Honorable Joseph Boakai. Mr. Boakai went to Bone County on, I think, on what? That was on Sunday. The incoming administration made a pledge of 10 million Liberian dollars That's equivalent to 50,000 US dollars. Mr. Barker also pledged 200 bags of rice. While he was doing that, George Weah was extremely busy appointing people in government. It tells you how insensitive, you know, this guy is.
All
Let me
right.
stop there.
All right. So, considering everything said from the two of you, one of the things that and maybe people would think that I'm a little hard tonight, but no, I think one of the things that I want to put forth is that people don't respect other people's property in Liberia. And that's the situation now. If those folks respected the property of whoever that truck belonged to, whoever the gasoline belonged to, they wouldn't even have gone closer to it. The only uh, 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 getting closer would be to see if someone is injured and how they could move that person out of there and not go looking for something that don't belong to them. This is a serious problem in that country. People don't respect people property. I was in a conversation where it was said that on that highway, when there's an accident, the people who are in the area, they don't go looking for the victims, they go looking for what the people were carrying, the material things, whether it was suitcase, whether it was money, whether it was business stuff. So where have we, come to the point where we don't say, oh, wait a minute, the gasoline don't belong to us. We're not even supposed to be doing this. Oh, this truck here is not our truck. Somebody property, you know, fell here. And so let's secure the area and let's make sure that, the police can come and take control. And the two police officers who came to the scene, it's the lack of rule of law. They didn't even respect them. It is another reason why people die the way they die. Because they don't even see the good inside what the police were trying to do. The two officers went there and said, hey, my people, this place a dangerous place. You can't be here. You're trying to step away. You're moving away. But because you said they don't have weapons on them to scare people. They don't have baton. Maybe the uniform were faded gray. All those things that people talk about.
Yeah. No,
So as a
patrol
result, they
vehicles,
were not
nothing.
they were not able they were not being respected.
Mhm.
So the rule of law is critical to these kinds of situations. If you know the law that governs theft, you wouldn't be going to take people gasoline and turn it into an elephant meat. You wouldn't do that. And they thought that they had killed one elephant in the total forest, and that's why they were jumping all on it. So the lack of rule of law, the lack of respect for another man's property. And then you talked about poverty. Of course, yes, that's what poverty would do. Alfonso talked about ignorance. But who don't know what fire is, and who don't know what flammables are, who don't know the danger of gasoline? Tell me, who on earth don't know what fire can do? Fire can consume. And then you're talking about 9,000 gallons of gas. It was a sitting time bomb, just ready to explode. From what we heard, people were knocking on the tank. The other guy claimed I saw him going down. I don't know if he went inside the tank.
I think he was the first to even die. The guy who climbed on top of that truck.
So these are the things that it doesn't matter. In the LBS chat room, people were talking about public service announcement. We need to do this. We need to, and I'm saying that no amount of public service announcement will really make much of a difference, because people are so focused on getting quick results. They want gasoline. If they see a spill, they don't respect the next man property. They don't respect the governance structure, the rule of law. So no matter you do public service announcement, people will go back. Some of those same guys who got charged and will survive tomorrow, they may forget it. The Liberian men quick to forget, because this is not the first of its kind. It just happened here in Sierra Leone. People died. We saw what happened with the tank of coming down the hill at King Sao Boso. Almost half of Waterside was set ablaze. Thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars worth of property was damaged, goods and services. So we've seen disaster, like you said, Moses, and that is why it's unfortunate. But when you have a government that is not addressing these things to the fullest, then it's a problem. It's a problem. So people are more or less just living by the grace of God. But in the same living by the grace of God, you must have the conscience to preserve yourself by the decision you make. And a lot of those people didn't make the right decision that day. I mean, when I look back at the video, when that thing exploded, the things that you saw flying were human beings that the explosion threw. And they're not, we're talking about the ignorance here. In fire, when you're set on fire, you need to roll. Or somebody inside of there were crying instead of rolling. And they say, now they're burning. The other man burned until he tries to burn from his butt. And somebody was helping him to walk, and he was butt naked going. I mean, it's not funny, but he sat there and was on fire instead of rolling. So no education around these things. No education. So people need to know these things. So part of the PSA, in the case of you being set ablaze because of some kind of mechanical issue or whatever, you need to roll. You need to roll. And they were around grass, you know, and nobody, they just sat there and cried.
Volcano, what happened on that day is just a very unfortunate situation.
But we're going to discussion. Just hold your thought. Let's play one or two videos and come back. Then we can discuss,
okay.
discuss extensively. So this is the case of Nigeria, and apparently they themselves too won't learn. So
My
this is
people,
almost
make una
everywhere.
come see wetin
Look at the
people
other
do.
man with draws on.
Una dey see as this tanker take break down. Wey come enter the body of this tanker. E dey carry diesel. The diesel come dey rush down. The driver e no fit hold this thing again. Na e take leave am. See as people take gather this thing, they use diesel, they take dey baff. Okay, what about, wait, una no dey fear? First of all, una no dey fear for una sef. Una no dey fear. What about, God forbid, something like fire just enter that place? Wetin una wan talk say una see? Because see as una take dey use the diesel, take dey rub body, take dey baff. Nigeria, una don start again. And woof, una una dey fear. Make una dey safe o, make una dey safe. Nobody say make una no pack this diesel, but make una dey safe. Make I leave now, make una watch this video. Wonder shall never end. Diesel. All the
diesel. It's diesel. Where the guy will get the tank? Where get the guy? Oh, this will catch fire. Come, who get this tanker? Excuse me.
I don't know if fire brigade man standing there in uniform. And the other person look like officer, he got his, you know, his ribbon around his shoulder.
I'm looking for the plate number of this vehicle.
The vehicle got no plate. So it's only happy how you identify the car. You say looking for the plate on the vehicle. So we're stopping here, but
man, look at it.
And the funny thing is that nobody seems to have the conscience to say, "Oh, y'all got to move from here." As soon as somebody says, "Oh, guess what? Few are wasting over there. Oh, come get a bucket, come get a pin, go for there." And I have people just started coming for that incident in total time, because it became a spectacle. If you look at the video up to the point. So let's go to that video, and then we'll come back and do the full discussion.
Okay, yeah, let's go to Bon Conte.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man.
It's a
I don't,
sad situation,
I don't know what's wrong with Oswald. I don't know what's wrong with us, my brother. So this video was done by someone I just found on Facebook. One or two little errors, but again, we want to say viewer discretion is advised. We hope that Facebook will allow the video to play. In fact, we call it from Facebook, so it's not something that we made here in the issues room. Again, viewers discretion is advised uh, for what we're about to play. Um, so please bear with us, Facebook. Somebody's crying, Lord. Somebody's crying, Lord. Somebody's crying, Lord. And it meant to say December 26th, and they wrote December 6th.
December 26th.
Somebody's crying, somebody needs you, Lord. Somebody's praying, Lord. Somebody's praying, Lord. So let's have a moment of silence before we have the conversation.
Yeah, you know, uh,
I mean, I'm counting, then you there talking again? You just silent? Go ahead.
yeah, what I was saying of Volcano, this is very emotional, very, very emotional. It is traumatizing for the families of those people that lost their lives in such a tragic way. And for something like this to happen in a country with a national leadership, where the national leadership headed by an individual called George Weah looks the other way, it just shows how heartless Mr. Weah is. I mean, to see your citizen die in this number, you say nothing. What kind of leader are you? You know how much the current vice president pledged towards this incident, Volcano? 1,000 US dollar. For Nati Kofa, who wants to be speaker, he went there, he pledged 2,000 US dollars. No sign of leadership. Why are Liberian paying taxes? Liberian pay taxes, and when there's a need such as this, when you have a national crisis such as this is when you demonstrate leadership. I heard you guys say, oh, well, people did not show respect. Yeah, Volcano, you're absolutely right. But look, let's always have this at the back of our mind. It is often said in Liberian parlance that, uh, wow, hungry, what? Empty bear, right? Empty bear cannot stand, implying that when you are hungry, uh, it doesn't matter what you do. All you want to do is to eat. You saw what happened during the war. People used to brave the bullets and go to the free port. People firing and people still going there looking for food. It is similar situation that we saw in Bon Conde.
But Moses, I'll disagree with you. Let's
That's what happened, Volcano, when you have extreme poverty.
extreme poverty, but you still have the soil. You can grow food. They were not on a
Look,
direct. I'm coming. It was not a wartime situation. It's just the fact that people just don't give a crap.
look,
We just
Volcano,
say it as extreme poverty led, and we just say it's a degree. But I don't mean that
extreme
in the interior the people can't grow food. I don't think they were
Volcano,
going there because they're that hungry.
Volcano. Let me say this to you, and
You
let me
always give
ask you
excuses
this
for the home that we
hypothetical
do.
question, right?
Hmm?
And I want our viewers to listen to this. The three of us sitting here and the others who are watching this podcast, do you think any of us will walk by and see a tanker that has fallen in the gutter and run there to go fetch for gasoline? Will we do that?
That's always a possibility.
No, Volcano. The
I'm
likelihood
just saying
of us
it's always
doing
a
that is
possibility.
very far, is very high. I mean, the likelihood of us doing that is very low because first, we do not have such craving. Oh, I need to sell a gallon of gas to be able to buy food. And then the intelligence you and I
But
have.
then Moses, that would then let me argue that with you. Then that
Yes.
means the entire Bone County or the entire total tower was supposed to be over there. Yeah,
Volcano
then that
not.
means it's
I
just,
mean,
yeah. But
let's
I'm saying that
let's
there were people who were cautious. You saw people standing far away. You even saw the guy who I'm coming. You will have your time. You even saw the guy who was doing the commentary. The guy said, "Is this legal?" You heard a man asking the question, "Is this legal?" For
I
some
did
for
not
these people, you know.
I did not make a broad statement saying that
Oh,
all the people, I mean, that the people of Bon County are poor. I said those who went there, those who risked their life, they did so as a result of extreme poverty and
not
ignorance.
but not totally.
These are the two. causations of what happened.
No,
But let me stop there and
the
give it to
lack
you
of rule
guys.
of law, the lack of rule of law. They did not. They don't care, and also the
Let me,
respect of another man's property. I tell you this: if somebody's house was on fire, they're not going there to go put water on the fire. They're going there to see what they can get out.
oh, Volcano, you're coming back to the same thing
But
I'm
that's the point I'm
saying.
making. If you respect the next man's property, you will not be eager to go after the material things. You will see the danger. You will see that you're safe. So some of those things are clouding the mind because it's a lot of variables here.
You
And
know,
let's
one
hear
of
from
those things
Alfonso.
that drive crime?
Yeah, I yeah, I think it's a
Crime is
combination of
driven by
Everything we're
what?
saying,
Extreme poverty.
but everything we're
it's a
saying
combination.
is a
Yeah, it's a
combination, Moses.
combination of
Yes.
factors, and
Mhm.
I think those factors are everything that you both are saying.
Yes.
Yes, the war has really created a situation in that country where people just go for other people's things, as you're saying, Volcano, and they don't care. I mean, there were times during the war
And I
people
know
would
it
just
because I go to the country.
blow for on people's head. People will do this, and I was in a gathering, as you said as well. I was in a gathering where somebody was saying, "Oh, that particular area, that road, once there's an accident, they go there. First thing they do is taking things from people's pockets and all of that." I don't think that's limited to just that area. It's just the general thing of let me grab and go. It has to do with the criminality and the level of impunity that has taken hold in Liberia. People will just do things and get away with it. So I can just go grab my own and I'll get away with it as well. But I also think that poverty is a factor as well. Because when people are desperate, they just go to grab things
They
also.
just do it.
As sociologists say,
So
poverty contributes to crime sometimes. So it's a combination of all of those factors. Nobody's
Absolutely.
wrong and nobody is not right here. It's just a combination of all of those factors that came into play in that tragedy.
we're getting feedback.
In
Moses,
my
that's why I muted you. We're getting some
Yeah.
kind of feedback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but I'll add this to it too. Laziness. Because
Yeah.
you become poor when you act lazy. Let's be practically honest. All of us who have been in poverty-stricken condition, have we
Mhm.
not tried to strive and be better off? People are lazy. How can you have beautiful, fertile land and you're not able to grow your food and sell it and be able to sustain yourself? You wait for opportunities and then you don't see the danger in that. Then you use the word extreme poverty. They're doggone well lazy too.
So I would.
Yeah, some
Volcano,
of them are lazy.
when
Let
you
me say
say
they want free
volcano,
ride.
when you say lazy, then the word lazy begin to have subjective interpretation. You know, for the fact that I'm not working, it doesn't mean I'm lazy. I made all the effort. For the fact that
Talking about
I am
growing
not
food. I'm
employed,
talking about growing food. I'm talking about going low for job.
no,
We
but
give
it's no,
we
you
give
said lazy.
yeah, I said yeah, some of them are
So
lazy.
that's
I
that's the
no,
angle from which I'm coming from.
no, but I
You know, for
quantify
the
it. I
fact that
said,
you have,
hold on now, Moses, you
yeah.
accuse me. I quantify. I said then they should be able to grow food. They got fertile soil. Then when you
So are you
produce a little produce and you sell, you will sustain. You won't be
so
running out there to
Volcano?
gasoline.
Can we say that you implying that all the college graduates in Liberia with marketable skills that are unemployed, those people are lazy?
That's what I implied. Is that what I
Oh,
implied?
you said the people are not working because
No, is
they
that
are
what I
lazy.
implied? I said some of them are lazy. They don't want to do what they're supposed to do. That is why they're poor.
Oh no,
Oh
I
yeah, you
think it's
talked about
you're
poverty
using a
and you
real
know what?
wild brush
No, no, no. Yeah,
to yeah.
let's pin the mosaic here.
I
Let put
mean,
so many
let's
so
be a
many
little bit academic on this,
yeah,
Volcano.
but so many
Let's
factors involved.
Yes, I agree. There are so many factors.
And what
And
leads to poverty?
okay, so
We
let me
just
give
born
you a couple
poor.
of reasons, right? Volcano, people who study criminal justice can better speak to this. They will tell you there's a strong correlation between crime and poverty.
The question I'm asking you, Moses, answer it for me.
Yeah, what's the
What are
question?
the contributing factors to poverty?
Okay, number
Let's
one,
leave crime out.
yes, there are a couple of reasons why people remain poor. Okay, why people are poor? The lack of what? Access to resources. Okay, how many businesses are there in total that will hire people to work and pay them livable wages? Okay, how many individuals in total that have marketable skills? How many companies that are offering employment opportunities in total? So I go to my farm, I plant planting and bring it up to one of the villages. Everything right because nobody there to buy. Does that mean I'm lazy?
But
It's just that no market.
what are you saying now, Moses?
No,
Why are
no,
you
but that
saying
you
that?
say that you
No, no,
say
no, no,
for the
no,
fact that
no.
people are
You only give,
lazy.
but you only give one factor here. You said
Mhm.
assets,
I gave you a couple of reasons
access
why
rather,
people are poor.
access. No, you didn't give me a couple of
I
reasons.
talk about access to
So
resources.
resources, you just said different kinds of resources.
I
Job,
talk about skills,
okay. But,
marketable skills.
but you
I
talked
talk
about,
about the lack of employment opportunities.
okay, that's the same as providing resources.
No,
Are you not going to say that poverty can also be a result of being lazy?
I am.
No,
You
but
may.
I'm asking you,
No,
can
no,
poverty not be an attributing factor to being lazy?
no.
I mean,
Say, I think that
lazy
this is
cannot
the
be a,
question, Volcano.
no.
The question will be. The question will
Can
be
laziness not be an attributing factor to poverty?
absolutely. So now you answer the question. So,
But that's what I
can
said,
can can laziness be a contributing factor
to
to
poverty,
poverty?
and that's what I said.
Yes, we can say that. Yes, because if you're going to sit home with all the resources available to you and you're
And I
watching
said here,
television,
and if Alfonso
that can
will
be a
agree with me,
contributing factor. But we
but
cannot use on the poverty
but
as I mean, we cannot use on the
but
laziness
Moses,
as
you
a
missing the
causation to why
conversation.
people are
Sometimes you do
poor.
this. No, you sometimes you do this. I
Mhm.
mentioned that let's add one more reason why this situation occurred. And I said laziness because they've got fertile soil. We talked about this every day. How many growing we do in our own country? How many growing do we do? We're still fighting for Pusawa rice when we have fertile swampland to grow rice. You see, that's the point I'm making. So I'm not saying that everybody was lazy. I'm just saying some people over there, you tell everything has to do with poverty. And I'm trying to and also add that the reason why people continue to remain poor because some people are lazy. They want to sit down and wait for manna to fall from heaven, and it's not going to happen. And they wait for these kinds of opportunities so that they can get a quick cash. If some other people were on the farm, they won't be over there. That's the point I'm making. So if most of the people over there just idle, then of course, yes, they're looking for any opportunity. That's the point I'm making. That's all I'm saying. And laziness can be an attributing factor to poverty. I'm not saying everyone is lazy in Liberia. No, I would be naive to say that. But I'm just giving you one example of why people can remain poor. Even handicapped are millionaires. They don't look at the limitations. They could sit there and say, okay, I ain't got no hand, I ain't got no foot, so I just wait for somebody to put food in my mouth. But you watch social media videos all over the place. A
No,
person completely with no
let's
hand.
limit that. Let's limit that to our society.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Yeah, but there are
Mhm.
people who have no limbs.
Yeah, let's limit that to
Yeah.
our society.
So
So, like I was
so
telling you,
guys, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let-
the
Sorry,
lack of
sorry.
I mean the lack of the access of resources, right? Volcano, the guys who are sitting at Johnson Street, are doing panhandling, literally begging, sitting on the floor, they physically challenged. Those people are doing so because they do not have access to resources. Our society doesn't provide that. You have a society where the unemployment rate is staggering. It doesn't mean that all those people are lazy. That's the argument I'm making.
But you still making, you see
I do
again,
not see, guys. I do not
yeah,
see any
Moses.
major disagreements here.
There's
I
a,
don't see
yeah,
any
you,
major disagreements. I think we're
how
just
many times
playing
you
the.
haven't even start? I come here, Alfonso, please give me 1 30 seconds.
Go ahead, my man.
Look, I want you to say this to me. I mean, I want to say this to you, Moses. How many times have you sent money to somebody? Say my people just then they said they won't even do business. Tell me the truth here tonight.
I mean,
There are
look,
thousands of people maybe watching this platform who have made those statements,
mhm,
who continue to send money to their relative, and they just depend that they must send money, and they're lazy. They don't want to do anything. Tell me if I'm lying here tonight. And you have made that
well,
statement
yeah,
because
what
of
you
your
are saying
frustration.
is absolutely true. But I also want you and I to agree that the current situation we're making reference to say that the people are lazy, that's why they are poor. I'm saying that
Moses,
laziness
but
is
you're
one of
changing, you're
the
changing the
contributing
context.
factor.
I don't want you to pin me this way. You're changing the context on who I spoke.
Oh,
If
but
you
you said the people
clearly
lazy,
listen to
volcano.
me, I said some of the people that are lazy, they have fertile soil they could have been doing, and I gave you an example. If some of the people were on the farm, they wouldn't be there today. If some of the people had something to do, they wouldn't be there today.
Okay.
You don't survive only on employment. Not every. Do you know how many thousands of people in Liberia don't have job, but they still eat every day because they
Yeah.
hustle to do
uh,
things
People
outside
do
of
people
crime?
make business, people find other means of
Okay,
So
survival.
guys,
so go ahead,
I don't
Moses.
know though.
Go ahead.
I don't know if there's any major disagreement or if you guys are having any disagreement. I don't see a disagreement. I think, as we said before, as you all have said, and I've added onto that, there are a lot of factors involved in that can contribute to these kinds of things. We talk about the whole concept of criminality, the fact that people are not held accountable, the fact that people don't respect people's property, the fact that people just wait for opportunities to take advantage of situations, all of that. We agree on all of that. We also say poverty. That's a factor as well. I mean, somebody who has money or has the means is not going to jump and say, let me go on that tanker. Or very few people who have the means will say, let me go jump on that tanker and get, somebody who has a generator, will, buy gasoline and put it in his fuel or put it in his car, in his generator and put it in your car. It's not going to jump on a tanker to say, let me go stay 2 3 gallons of gasoline. So that all of these are factors, including the point that volcano that you make. Yes, if you stay idle and you don't produce, then you will not have the means. And when you don't, so these are all factors. Moses, we talk about opportunities and all of that are factors as well. I mean, you make some important points, such as if everybody in Toyota is making farm, who's going to buy the other
Who's
man
gonna buy? Yeah.
Saudi or planting or something so the man get money to go buy fuel or generator? Maybe if the government of Liberia was providing electricity to people, like here, maybe people would not go and be stealing gasoline to, or fuel to put in their lanterns. So there are multiplicity of factors, and I think our focus should be how dissecting those factors and talking about how those factors can be addressed, to improve the livelihood of our people. I totally agree with you. There's just some people who sit down and don't do work, and because they don't do work, they don't have the means, and they just rely on criminality. But we have also created a culture of criminality in that country. When the wealthiest and richest person in Torota or in Kakata or in Monrovia is somebody who stole money to get there, is somebody who looted to get there, is somebody the powerful person was somebody who during the war wrote their name on somebody's house and took their car and took all of that. And those people are today glorified and honored by society. Then we are driving our young people to that same degree of hooliganism, that same degree of criminality, so they can get to the place, because now what we've taught them is it's no longer by the sweat of their brow shall thou eat bread. It's no longer that you have to work to earn what you have. It's grab and go. And so that mentality exists too. and that feeds into it. And like what you were saying of Volcano and what somebody told me a few days ago, that on those corridors, on the highways, and even in the cities, when there's an accident and people rush there, the first thing they're trying to do is grab wallets and grab cell phones and all of that. So then that comes to, how about law? Where's law enforcement? Maybe we can, strengthen our law enforcement to address those things. Maybe we do education, as you said, LBS, your LBS, from our LBS colleagues are suggesting. So again, a combination of factors. What can we do to address some of those? Some of those young people that just went there, maybe just
They were
ban,
spectators.
it's bandwagon the same as well. Bandwagon. If people get on the bandwagon, crowd pressure, you're in the town, you see your friend there running to go get something, you jump then too. It's the crowd effect. It's psychological, it's studied, it's scientific. Everybody wants to get on the bandwagon. That's also a factor. And then, of course, the failure of our system, of our government in terms of first responders and intervention and all of those things. So I think what we need to do is to use this tragedy to educate our people and also to hold our politicians responsible and accountable. There shouldn't be only two police people in the whole town. There, there's no way you can control the crowd in the town, which is some of what happened. It's sad. I'm just hearing. It's sad that the two people that went there died trying to protect other people and they died in the process. Somebody was saying, oh, the police commander there went to get gasoline too and he died. But now I'm hearing from you that they're trying to protect the people because I haven't been following. I haven't really been following the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's a national tragedy that we should learn from. Very quickly, look at Capitol Building. Capitol Building, the seat of the national legislature. The current chairman of the Judiciary Committee, a millionaire at the time, Vanning Sherman, fell off in the Capitol Building. How did they bring him downstairs? Some people holding his hand, other people holding his head, other people holding his legs. They ran down the. Shouldn't the Capitol building have nurses? Shouldn't they even have like a small clinic in that place? Shouldn't they even have ambulances and first responders to do this? It's just the ignorance and neglect by our leaders that's also leading to the death and suffering of our people. And I just hope that we can use some of these tragedies to really hold our leaders accountable, but also to teach our people to understand the realities of these things.
Thank you. It's 8:04 right now. If you just joined us, we're in the issues room here. We have about 26 minutes to go. We want to post the number now to call if you have to weigh in and add your voice to this conversation. 404 Call and participate in the conversation. We're discussing the December 26th tanker explosion tragedy that led to the loss of uh, so many people, and many other got injured, and some of them continue to die as a result of the degree by which they were injured through the fire. Again, call 404-272-2808. We also have memory lane at 8:20. Manisumbo jotted something down that we'll read. But let's
Yeah.
come back to the conversation.
Mm-hmm. So, what I would like to say of Alfonso, you said something about the capital, right?
Hmm.
You said Senator Sherman fell off,
Hmm.
and the people struggled to get him out of the building. I would say
Hmm.
instead of even asking for ambulance or having a health team, the listing an elevator, the Capitol building, the listing an elevator should be in that building. That the Senate pro tem doesn't have to walk, you know, uh, several steps to get to his office. These people should be treated with dignity. But you get to the Capitol building, They don't even have running water. The guys who work there as cleaners, they are more like treated like slaves. They send them to bar pipes to pour water in containers and take it upstairs. I mean, our sense of nationalism, our planners, they are just so terrible in planning, man.
All right, let me add this part. You mentioned that Joy Howard Taylor went in and gave a
10,000, I mean, $1,000.
donation of
She
one
didn't even give it. She
thousand,
pledged.
and what's the other guy? Funadi Kova
For
2,000.
Kufa, yeah.
But let me say this: this is what these people want. They want recognition. They
Yep.
want to keep the people at
Yes.
the
Poor.
lowest ebb, so that
Exactly.
when these things happen to come out, so that people can
Yep.
remember the goodness and say, "Oh yeah, that time that tragedy happened for Nadikia, he get $2,000. Joe Howard." So when Joe
Yep.
Howard go back to Bond County and beg the people to, because maybe she may want to go back to the Senate because she can be vice president again. I don't know under who, and if she try to run for president, I don't know whether she will win. So she might end up going back to
Oh
them.
man, why are you predicting the woman
Eh,
future like that?
oh man, the Liberian people tired. The people tired. What you want me to tell you? The people tired. So I'm saying this to say that these people, they take the money that they steal from the people to better them. And when these tragedies come, they go back and give a little dab and think that they're doing good for the people. And I just
Yeah,
wanted to point that part out here
yeah,
because
it's
they're scoring opportunities, futuristic opportunities in the crisis, in the death of their own citizens. That's how I see it.
no.
Maybe I'm
I
being difficult.
One
Let me
hundred
say something.
one.
Let me take this call. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You want to?
no.
Let me
Go
take,
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead.
I was saying you're correct. Yeah.
yeah. The caller from a 401 number, Rhode Island 8737. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, from Livingston calling.
Oh yeah, welcome, Flomo. Happy New Year.
Same to you. Great show, great show. I mean, look, for me, I mean, the incident that happened, I mean, it was very bad. I understand why, the individual there was wrong, but at the same time, too, I contribute that to poverty because I think, lack of, I mean, educations and poverty led to that. For those guys, them going try to earn, I call it, I think they're trying to go earn a living or something like that, or to steal and go sell, which is wrong. Stealing is wrong. But it comes down to information, like the leaders, our government on the public radio, to sort of be educating the people on things like this. I mean, that comes down to the leadership. I mean, the president, we are in charge. I mean, and the VP, they didn't show leadership. The president hasn't speak on the incident since it happened on the 27th up to now. And people try to, I mean, for me, I try to question the president. Is he ready? He only loves certain region? Because I do remember the stampede that took place in Nukutan that the next day the president make a statement and he called for 3 days, moment of silence or whatsoever, which was right. I mean, I commend him for that. But at the same time, when it happened to other part of the region, you should do the same. Don't be quiet when it happened to other region. Not because you came from Nukuta or you grew up from there, so that means you should do it that way. It was, I mean, for me, that was, I mean, it's bad. Leadership you shouldn't pick and choose. We understand, what the guys did was wrong. And the VP again did not show the leadership when she went. She didn't stop there. I mean, well, I can call it stop. She only spent like 1 or 2 minutes. She left. According to her, she was going to go dedicate a hair pump that was built by the Turkish government. So you trying to tell me that the hand pump dedication is very important that the people that lost their life. I mean, as a leader, you shouldn't do that. And today, when I watched the Senate hearing, when Prince Mohi, the senator of Bonka, they brought her that thing on the floor, she left and went. Again, that showed that she doesn't care about the people. I don't know what's wrong with that woman. Maybe I'm just saying, allegedly, maybe the type of death she witnessed when her husband charged that were killing people, it just made her to probably don't get no feeling for human life. I don't know. But I mean, hopefully the government are coming in place, they can have something emergency fund or whatsoever. I don't know if we have it in Liberia there, like the way they have it here in America. Like when a disaster, you get FEMA that will go there to help and stuff like
I
that.
may forget that one back. Yeah, people put them in the pot so they can come and show
Yeah.
off. That's what we're talking about.
That I mean, I agree with you. The last one you said where Fernando Kofa, all the guys are going to pledge. I think they're just doing it for like, oh yeah, they man in Herbo. Remember that time when anything happened, he brought the money. They just do that to keep the people in poverty, and hopefully, like I mean, the government that come in place can try to create environment where people can they can be able to create job and stuff. And for Canada, you said the people are lazy. Yeah, some people are lazy,
Oh, now you
but not
so,
all.
but I didn't say. Oh, you're beating me for
No, no,
nothing.
no,
I'm telling
no,
you
no,
that
no. First,
laziness is an attributing factor to poverty.
I agree, but I'm glad you came back to make a clarity. It says some, but the part you said people are lazy,
No,
so that's why I have to
okay.
disagree with you.
I'll go back and listen to
But
myself.
yeah, go back and listen the first time you said people
Mm.
are lazy. For me, you can't say everyone cannot make farming. That's impossible. For before you make farming, you need a seed. Not everybody have that to plant and stuff like that. So everyone cannot be a farmer. The same way everybody cannot be a plumber or a carpentry. That's just how it is. But I mean, great show. Thank you for the show.
Thank you, Flo.
Thank
Always
you.
Yeah.
good to hear your perspective.
So,
So one of you
All
were
right.
trying to
Right.
make a point.
mhm,
Who was it?
uh, I was I was I was I was trying to make the point regarding the pledge by the
I
outgoing
think it
vice
was. I
president.
think it was Alfonso who was about to make
Yeah,
that point. So
yeah,
who
but
is
he can go. I think we're about to say the same thing, so
Oh,
he can
okay.
go and
All right.
say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I what I wanted to say, and I'm saying now, is that the optics for the outgoing vice president in this situation is very terrible. Volcano. This woman, her mom comes from Bone County. She served as senator for Bone County. When her imprisoned husband was president, when he led the Civil War, they resided in Bone County.
Bone County was the capital city of Greater Liberia.
Yeah. And so the name Jewel is a prominent name in Liberia. And you tell me, Volcano, the second in command, your people die in the numbers, and you show up, you spend less than 2 minutes and pledge $1,000 Volcano and tell the people, say, oh, let somebody come to my office to
And the
pick
woman
it
a
up.
super millionaire.
And the woman said, this is what she said, Volcano. She said, I am making this pledge as a personal pledge. This is the second person in authority when it comes to the leadership of Liberia. She pledged $1,000. Her boss has said nothing. What does that mean when it comes to leadership?
But let's hear Alfonso's perspective because when I mentioned that these
Yeah.
Mm,
folks look for
yeah,
futuristic opportunities
yeah,
in disaster
Mhm.
yeah,
of this magnitude. Go ahead.
yeah. Exactly. So some of the things we've been talking about is that police don't have the resources or we don't have enough police forces. Some of the things we've been talking about is healthcare system. Some of the things we've been talking about is public education of people, jobs, opportunities, and all of those things. Flomo just talked about, even people who want to farm having the implements and the seeds and those kinds of things. You know who's perpetuating that situation? It's those very politicians. It's Fonanti Kofa. It's Mistress Taylor. If those people in government in the legislature when they make the Moses talk earlier about the National Disaster Agency getting only $800,000 per
Mhm.
year in the national budget. They perpetuate poverty. They make our people poor by not providing the services to our people so that they can hold it. Say, what's this Liberian saying? Somebody who feeds your take care of your belly or whatever
Mhm. Yeah.
controls you and those
Mhm.
kinds of things. That's
Yeah.
what unfortunately our politicians want to do. They want to starve the people of the resources. Then they show up one day or 2 day and get a poor bag of rice and give the people little $2, $3. They will say, yeah, that man a good man. A good man there. He brought he get us food when we're suffering here. When people die, he the one came in and brought 1,000, 2,000. When in fact he could have put money in the national budget to make sure that these people got jobs that the creator cooperates for them to go make farming and get work so they don't go on the road to go steal gasoline as a way of their survival. One of you talk about planning. I think it was you, Volcano. Our people do not plan and it's deliberate. They do it so as to keep the people poor, so they can keep the people on a leash. Tell a dog. Then they feed them crumbs. Then the dog say, "Yeah, my owner like me." But the owner sits on the table and eat all the, whatever, and then feed the dog some crumbs or whatever. Put the pigs in the pig pen. Somebody was telling me, and gave the pigs the cassava peeling while they sit on the table and eat the actual cassava and those kinds of things. That's what they do to our people. And then they show up once in a while and I pledge $1,000. If you're really interested in helping people, why are you standing on national radio and pledging $1,000 to people so everybody will see and say, yeah, for Natikova get 1,000, or this woman get 1,000, or this person get 5,000? Do it in the quiet. Create institutions and organizations. Go and create farming cooperatives in Toronto so that people can make farm and those kinds of things. Go and create jobs. Empower the people, but it's all deliberate. It's designed in social, political sociology. They do this is designed to keep the people on a leash so they'll continue to control the people and control the people's minds. You feed somebody, you control their thoughts, you control their minds. And that's what it is. And that is sad. That's exactly what those two politicians did.
And interestingly, I would like to add that had this government won the elections, I believe there would be more of the uh, 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 officials, I meant to say, the
Yeah,
officials making more donations. But
yeah,
again, somebody said, I think Thomas, yeah, he said that they're trying to punish the people. Uh, they're keeping the last loot, they're keeping the last gains. They're not willing to give it up. Fonati is doing this because he wants to become speaker.
yeah,
He wants to become speaker
yeah.
at all cost. So let
Mm-hmm.
me identify now and get $2,000,
Mm-hmm.
and that puts me,
Yeah,
on the front page
yeah.
because that will go in the papers.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so Joseph won his seat. He didn't come and go down there and bother with anything. Prince Johnson the same, because a lot of them should be helping out. To be frank, a lot of them have benefited since our governance structure changed from 2005 to today. Many of these people are millionaires, super millionaires.
Yeah,
And so when you come and give $1,000, I can afford $1,000. Come on now. As an ordinary man, and I'm sure Moses the same, and you, Alfonso, it wouldn't break the bank. But they have stolen enough,
Yeah.
stolen enough. And you come with a little meager
One
$1,000,
thousand
a
dollars,
whole
man.
sitting vice president, your
Anyway,
office budget, eh? And you came to prominence through that county. You from Lofa,
yeah.
but you came to prominence through
Through
that county.
Volcano. Mm-hmm.
So it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So when I speak of a political career, I think she would be demoted because she would want to run for the Senate. I mean, otherwise, she can't run for presidency, and she's not even going to run as vice president to anybody. Who's going to pay attention to Jua?
But look, Volcano, just to piggyback on what you said, I strongly agree with you. There are a couple of reasons why I would say Jewel Howard Taylor political career is over in Liberia, just as George Weah. First thing, this lady lacks the temperament to lead. You see some of the gibberish that she spews out there. When they won the presidency, she said, "It is our time. If you're not with us, we will not give you any job." So her career in Liberian politics, is over. She can go back again to be senator. I don't think the people of Bon County will give such an opportunity to Joel. I don't see any presidential hopeful that will be coming that will ask Joel, because when she runs by herself, she's not going to win. She doesn't have the money. She doesn't have the temperament and to be a leader. So, Joel will not be a presidential hopeful. George Weah, he lives in a dream world. He says that he's going to come back in 2029. I can tell you, even Mr. Cummings, who got 2% of the votes. If he goes into a race with George Weah come 2029, Mr. Cummings will whip George Weah big time. So it just tells you that George Weah, his days are over.
Okay. That's what
Joel, her
I want
days are
to
over.
ask.
These people have not demonstrated leadership.
Thank
Yeah.
thank you.
Hmm.
And let me just say this quickly before I go to memory lane, that what Mr. Barker is doing is not because he wants to showcase. I think he will do that all the time. He understands disaster. He knows when the people need their leader, and he's demonstrated that. He's identified with many of the crises in the country. He speaks out compared to the president. And all that thing that happened, oh, they've gone some of the way we are wasted on in fucking clone. If you see it, my man, it's about what's wrong with this guy. The guy can talk in fucking clone more than he talks anywhere else. What kind of man is this? You know? But let's go to memory lane. We
The
can
men are the med terrain. Forget Chloe is the
come.
med terrain.
Yeah, then
What you
we'll
talking
do the
about?
what type of country is this, then that when we have the time to wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Remember Lynn here about Manin Sumo titled National Heritage, a call for a new Liberia. You see, the Greek were right when they gave power to the people. In the Greek language, demos means people and kratos means power of rule. Thus, demokratos. The interpretation in the English language, democracy, meaning power to the people. But you see, democracy is an abstract. So the people are the reality and interpreters of democracy. The people of democracy have culturally symbolic values which are expressed by signs, objects, marks, and characters. I believe that national symbols are intended to unite people by creating visual, verbal, and or iconic representations of the national people's belief, their value, their goals, and their history. Symbols of a nation correlate with the history of the people. I want to join you to agree that a new Liberia must revisit its values, its culture, its national symbols, national anthem, the flag, and socio-economic good practices, among others. And here is why. Every nation has symbols or specific objects that represent their culture, beliefs, values, traditions, or intangible or other intangible ideas that make that country unique. For example, in Liberia, we have the pepper bird, the palm tree, the dove, the elephant, ship, sun, plow, shovel, colors, stars, among others. These represent our national identity and values as Liberians. So, if we believe that the founding fathers of Liberia did not include our symbolic values, we can do so now and or at another time. Our founding fathers, I believe, only acted according to their time in history. Since Liberia is growing and developing as a nation, these symbols may change over time. The changes can help to bind our nation together by reminding us as people of our nation's history and, most importantly, our principles. In the business world, there is something called continuous improvement, and it is the ongoing improvement of products, services, or processes through incremental and breakthrough improvements. The same is in politics and nation building. There is nothing wrong with a nation making changes to its name, its national anthem, its flag, or its symbolic icons. It is called continuous improvement, not witch hunting. So long these changes represent aspiration, inclusion, and unity, it is welcomed. Currently, in the United States of America, the state of Minnesota is revisiting the changing of its flag, symbols, and constitution to include more diverse communities. So can Liberia. You'll remember in 1984, Thomas Sankara and his people collectively changed the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso. French Somaliland changed the name to Djibouti. Buchanan land became Botswana. Southwest Africa changed the name to Namibia, and Basuto land became Lesotho. But we, the people of Liberia, must make it happen. We must make it happen. The people in a democracy are the power brokers and should not be the power breakers. We need collective efforts to build our nation. It cannot be in the unity of party or Joseph Yumabwaka alone. It is you, you, and me. A new Liberia we want, a new Liberia we can. A coming peace. And that's a
Beautiful.
piece here written by Mane Sumo, saying that change is necessary, continuous improvement, and if Liberia wants to make some changes, it is welcomed. And maybe we're stagnant because we're stuck in the old order. Some things need to change. Maybe our symbols, maybe our flag. We're no longer the little America in Africa. We've lost that. Liberians must get visa, and they don't need all the visa here. Whatever country is this, they say with the stepchild. Whoever, what
Go to
country?
the embassy, they
Yeah,
deny you visa.
yeah. Whatever country is this? Free
They
slaves,
say you stepchild and you can't enter the house.
free slaves came out of America, went to Liberia, and established the country. Yet we must have to get visa. For the people in Puerto Rico on the island, the people in the Virgin Island, the people in St. James, St. Croix, they get visa for free. They are in fact citizens. How come? All because what? We black from Africa?
Yeah, stepchild.
What type of relationship is this?
What type of country is this, eh?
No, what type of relationship is this between America and Liberia? Your brag, you say
No, but
we
anyway, my man,
ally.
America
Eh?
is stepping up to the place, though.
Step in your workplace, my man. We don't
Right, Alfonso? America is stepping up, though. If you ask
Well,
Samuel 12 right now, you will tell you something, man, America is really stepping up.
but
Go
stepping
out and
out
tell them, my
with
girl.
the sanctions,
Emmanuel New
yes.
Way. Sorry, not C4. Jefferson Koji asked them. They know America is stepping up, my man. But hey, what type of country is this with less than 20 days, to the inauguration, and public officials of the current administration are already looting, government offices? What type of country is this?
Yeah. What type of country is this that some of them refusing the process that they
Yeah.
enjoyed from
Mhm,
the Ellen government to their government, which is the transition
mhm.
period, that they must be able to meet each other and say, this is what you are inheriting. But some of them refuse because they know they not cause so much damage. They
Yeah.
got
Hmm.
nothing to present. There were no what's the thing
Li-
assessment? No
Yeah, no
assessment.
assessment. Yeah,
No
assessment.
annual assessment done in those ministries and all places.
Yep.
There no evaluation, nothing. So they got nothing to put to the
They
table.
got nothing to turn over.
So,
Yeah.
so they're being what was
Hmm.
defiance? That was the word you used last time we were talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That,
and 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 you know what they do in Volcano? That is deliberate. You know why? They're doing that so that the other people who's supposed to come and check what it did will not have the opportunity. And then as soon as we look in the next few weeks,
They all went wrong. Yeah.
January 22nd will be there. And then you have to go and fend on your own.
yep.
So deliberately, the guys are doing it to stall the entire process.
But then in the same token, they will run away. That's the point I'm making.
Oh, yeah.
So Baga need to close that airport down. Yeah. They won. Close the airport down from day one. Nobody
No,
run.
but for Samuel 12, they don't have to close no airport for him. People already told you, say, my man, don't even come
Only
close to
let
the
people come
airport.
in. We'll close it down. We'll let people come in. All the government should wait
Airport
until
closed. Nobody get out until we finish the
the first
audit.
100 days. Until the first 100 days. Yeah, what type of nonsense is that? You set up a transition team. Everybody happy. You're taking
Yeah.
what they call it, photo.
Follow up.
Yeah,
You
in
know,
the photo.
you
Then
want
time
to
down
cooperate
for
with
you
the
to
people
do the
again?
work. You won't do the work. You won't be
Yeah.
defiance and disrespectful. Thomas Awaji, what type of country is this where the outgoing government is refusing to work with the incoming government?
Yeah. Whatever country is this? Whatever country is this? Where where the president continues to make appointment even though people say
You got
he's
only
a
20
lame
days
duck
left.
president for now, but he's still appointing people. Now you tell me this, Volcano. The LRA Commissioner General, our man Thomas Nando, the man that the body has not been flown home yet. The family is planning the man funeral. Mr. Weir has less than 3 weeks to be out of the executive mansion, and the man has already appointed a replacement for Mr. Doe.
That's being very insensitive.
Very insensitive,
That
my man.
position should have just been left untouched until the new government comes.
Come.
So wait a minute, is it a 10-year job and he trying to put somebody there?
You're trying to post,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
commissioner of the
tenure.
LRA is tenure.
It's 10
So
years,
he
so you
wants to
can
make
put
sure that
somebody.
he
Yeah,
has
so
already appointed what the
Samora
body
Wolokoli. Mm.
uh
Samora
Wolokoli.
Wolokoli.
Oh,
Yeah.
the other man is still a B bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the man and that man asked for 15%, my man.
What?
Yeah,
But
two
but
what?
who?
Oh,
But it now it's left with the house though, right?
yeah, but
Yeah. The
I watched
Senate.
the section of the house today. They put his nomination. They
On the
sent it
floor.
to committee room. So I don't think he's going to come through until after the election. I mean, after the inauguration.
But I heard that, well, why not? Why you think so, Moses?
I strongly believe, as I watched the debate in the section today, a good number of senators is again, our senators can be very unpredictable, but a good number of them strongly believe that Mr. Thomas Nado served Liberia and that there should be no discussion about his replacement until he's given a befitting burial. And I support that, Volcano.
Yeah, I mean, so
Why?
so
Why the rush?
okay, so let me ask this question because I may be very ignorant to this. If we cross into the new era
Hmm.
after January 22nd,
Yeah,
and his name is a nominee on the floor,
yeah.
can that name be pulled at that point that Joseph Baga is now president?
The incoming administration, I mean the incoming Senate, the 55th Senate, since his name is already there and Mr. Weir is out, that opportunity for him to come on the floor will be very slim because the incoming president will then have that authority to appoint to
That's what.
fill that void.
So
Yeah,
that's what I'm about to say as
yeah,
well. So
So to add to that,
yeah,
any proposed bill, any bill on the floor from the previous, from this current 54th, any appointments and everything that doesn't go through, because once the new legislature gets seated, it
that's it.
definitely will get a new
New
leadership.
business.
It will
Yeah.
get a new leadership.
Hmm.
So the person who will move these nominations is the president pro tempore.
Hmm.
So the president pro tempore can bring things on the floor and send them to the committees and all of that.
Yeah.
But once the new legislature gets seated, is going to get it. They're going to vote a new president pro tempore.
Hmm.
They're going to vote a new speaker. So once the president pro tempore or the speaker doesn't put bills or those nominations on the floor, they are dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
but then the danger here is that
Hmm.
what's his name? Aboche,
Yeah.
Yeah.
could he rush to get this done? Because
So
now
Abachi is moving with lightning speed to
Yeah.
get these
To get things
confirmations
done.
on
Yeah.
the table, get them done before the new legislature gets seated. But here's what the Constitution says, and I don't know. The people who are opposed to these nominations have an opportunity here because the Constitution says that the 55th legislature, the next legislature should get seated, I believe, on the second Monday on the second Monday of January. That's when the new legislature should get seated.
So that next Monday.
So that's
Mm-hmm.
next Monday. So if by next Monday the new legislature gets seated, they shouldn't be bothering themselves with nominations. That's dead. That's gone. A new president pro tempore, a new speaker, none of those things get submitted to the floor.
So
It's
at what point that we'll know a new pro tem and a new speaker
so
by next Monday?
Well,
once they
mm,
convene, then they will have to vote.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Once
okay.
they convene, then they have
So
to
I
vote.
think that's where they will be more focused.
Yes,
Dealing with.
exactly.
All right.
So there
So
will be
tell me,
more focus on selecting their leadership than
lead
on
us.
nominations and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
let's call it a night.
Yep.
We're gone past the time. It's 7 minutes past the time. One minute quick. Let's wrap it up and get out of here.
Yeah.
well,
So what happened in that place is a tragedy. But as Hillary Clinton said, do not let even a bad situation go to waste. Let's take advantage. Let's use it as an opportunity to make change and to make correction in that country. So I hope the incoming administration and even the citizens will really come together and make demands on our leaders and our governments to put things into place. There shouldn't be only two police people in Toyota. We should need more there. Our disaster relief people should be in place. We should train people in simple disaster relief and CPR and first aid and those kinds of things. And we should equip our hospitals so that, to help our people in times of tragedy and educate our people to also see danger in those kinds of things. Again, on behalf of all of us here, want to say sorry to the impacted families and communities, but let's all of us use this as a teachable moment to teach our people. Yeah.
Thank you, Alfonso
yeah.
Moses.
Like Alfonso said, the situation in Bone County is a sad situation. We pray that the Almighty God will have mercy upon the souls of the faithfully departed, including those who die in Bone County. And we hope that this will become a teachable moment for our national leaders. Institutions established to, to intervene when there are crises. These institutions need to be funded adequately. We need to pay keen attention to national security. The police can be walking around without even batons. If we had a very strong police force, maybe there would have been an intervention. Our hospitals are overwhelmed. So my appeal to everyone is that let's give attention to what is happening around us. And please, my people, next time when you see something like that, I know times are tough. You are tempted to go because you have this belief that something will happen in order to put food on the table. But please, I'm going to appeal to you, do not take that risk. It is too risky to endanger your life in such a way. So again, Mr. Shelton, happy belated birthday, Alfonso. Thank you for coming. Thanks to our many viewers and look forward to seeing all of you guys on Friday. It was a pleasure being here.
Thank you, everyone. Good night to everyone.
Mhm. Yeah.
Thank you.